wasn't a smash and grab by Korea. They were the better team. General thoughts?
He was playing very aggressively, and it's actually part of what led to that first goal for South Korea. We had no pressure on the ball. The lines were disconnected. We're not cutting off passing lanes. Blackman's a little bit higher, too big of a gap between he and Tim Ream. And then the ball is slipped in behind to Son Heung-min, who then plays, he's one of the best players on the planet, this guy, and plays a wonderful ball.
Goals from Heung-min Son and Dong Young Lee. Quite the performance from the Koreans.
Keeper went crazy, honestly. But Son Heung-min was the best player on the pitch in this game. He had a goal and he had an assist.
해외방송에서 소니와 한국 대표팀을 이렇게까지 치켜세우는 반응이 쏟아질 줄은 정말 놀라웠습니다. 무엇보다 오늘 손흥민의 골부터가 시작이었죠. 전반 초반 상대 압박을 유도해 공간을 벌리고 박스 안으로 파고든 뒤 거의 각도 없는 위치에서 침착하게 꽂아 넣은 마무리. 이건 알고도 못 막는다는 말이 절로 나오는 장면이었습니다. 이어 손흥민이 동료와 주고받으며 만들어낸 백킬 합작까지 터지자 현지 해설들은 이번 주 최애 팀골이라며 감탄을 멈추지 못했고 한국의 하이프레스와 번개 같은 전환이 미국을 90분 내내 묶어뒀다는 평가가 연달아 나왔습니다. 관중석은 1만 명이 넘는 한국 팬들로 사실상 원정홈 미국 패널들 입에서는 He dominated us, Korea were better for 90minutes 같은 표현이 계속 흘러나왔죠. 오늘 영상에서는 이 놀란 목소리들을 그대로 모아 보여드리면서 왜 손흥민이 지배적으로 보였는지, 한국이 어떻게 압박 턴오버킬 피니시로 미국을 무너뜨렸는지 장면별로 짚어드립니다. 그럼 바로 미국 반응 보시죠.
The USMNT have lost to South Korea 2-0 in what was another embarrassing performance by Pochettino and the men in the red, white, and blue. How many more performances like this are we going to see? There's going to be 10 more games until the World Cup starts for the USMNT, who luckily automatically qualify because we're hosting. This game was Son Heung-min. I think he's the best player outside of South Korea's goalkeeper. South Korea's goalkeeper went crazy, honestly, but Son Heung-min was the best player on the pitch in this game. He had a goal and he had an assist. He was in the first half. He was the best player in this game. He dominated the USMNT. They dominated us. And there was the joke because obviously we have a bunch of MLS players on the USMNT playing today, and the guy who dominated and was the best player on the pitch was an MLS player, Son Heung-min. He dominated us today. Wasn't even close. Hopefully we'll see that carry over to the LAFC, or he can get some better service from his teammates at LAFC, and he'll be able to play like he did today with LAFC because he looked spectacular today. He was great today. Best player on the pitch. Player of the game for me. Son Heung-min. Goalkeeper, close second, though. Very good performance. South Korea wasn't pushing the ball forward like they were in the first 50 to 60 minutes of the game. So, really didn't. Or Ballo. Those are only two guys that impressed me. But who impressed you? Do you agree with me that Son Heung-min was the best player on the pitch? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, or if you're a sad USMNT fan like me.
This team, after yet another loss under Mauricio Pochettino, to a team that is a perennial attendee of World Cups and will be there once again next summer. And, 90 minutes, it wasn't close. It wasn't a smash and grab by Korea. They were the better team. General thoughts?
He was playing very aggressively, and it's actually part of what led to that first goal for South Korea. We had no pressure on the ball. The lines were disconnected. We're not cutting off passing lanes. Blackman's a little bit higher, too big of a gap between he and Tim Ream. And then the ball is slipped in behind to Son Heung-min, who then plays, he's one of the best players on the planet, this guy, and plays a wonderful ball, the back post, he scores, and that.
No pressure on the ball, like you mentioned, on a consistent basis, including that first goal where there were multiple players that got the ball, turned, looked up, and had all the time in the world to have a smoke and a coffee before playing it. And then this desire and need to constantly play out of the back against a very good high-pressing type of Korea team.
And wasn't prepared for this, maybe. Well, yeah, that's exactly kind of what we talked about when we broke down some of the specifics and how it happened within the game. The speed in which South Korea presses with, the speed in which they transition with. That's, South Korea compared to the teams you're going to see in a World Cup as well.
Well, how do you press? It's a combination of the physical and obviously the mental and knowing where to go. But from a physical perspective, They were pressing every single pass that came into an American player. There was a Korean.
And there you have it. South Korea defeats USA 2-0 with goals from Hyun-Min Son and Dong-Young Lee. Quite the performance from the Koreans.
How about that second goal, man? Probably my favorite team goal of the week so far. Little give and go with Lee Jae-sung and Song Kyung-min. He flicks it over to Lee Dong-kyung, and he back flicks it into the back of the net. Gorgeous team goal for South Korea. They go up 2-0, looking horrible for the U.S. going into halftime, 2-0 to South Korea.
Yeah, they ran circles around them in that first half, and I love that second goal, bro. I love that second
pretty.
goal. The improvisation from all parts involved was super impressive, and the finish was just beautiful to see. And hearing that South Korean crowd in attendance, about an estimated 10K to 15K Koreans supporting Hyun-Min Son and his national team. There's really been an influx of that Korean support here in the States with his move to LAFC.
Yeah.
It's good to see him continue to thrive and get his own goal in this game. Korea just started off a united core, a team that knows how to play to their strengths with a counter-attacking type of style where they worked off of the high press and really damaged the USA by putting on pressure whenever the USA had the ball in their own half. Then you just feed Hyun-Min Son on the counter and you have those great decision makers that we saw in that second goal, and that's how you get a 2-0 lead in the first half.
앞으로도 손흥민 선수의 활약을 응원하며 지금까지 단독 튜브였습니다. 구독과 좋아요는 큰 힘이 됩니다. 오늘도 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.